In a world obsessed with pleasing others, fitting in, and chasing external approval, there's a radical truth many refuse to face. The most powerful choice you can make is to choose yourself. Not selfishly, not arrogantly, but strategically, with the unwavering clarity of a Stoic philosopher and the sharp pragmatism of Machiavelli. Choosing yourself is the foundation of all true power, freedom, and fulfillment. It's the act of setting boundaries, owning your worth, and living on your own terms, no matter the noise around you. Without this, you risk being tossed around by others' expectations, losing your identity in the crowd. Stoicism teaches us that control over ourselves is the only real control we have. Meanwhile, Machiavelli's political genius reveals how leaders seize and maintain power by first mastering their own minds and decisions. Together, these philosophies offer a blueprint for how to choose yourself every single time, and why it's the greatest gift you can give yourself. In this video, we will explore 10 unbreakable principles, drawn from the timeless wisdom of Stoics and Machiavelli, to help you finally break free from the chains of external validation and claim the power that comes from choosing yourself first. Choosing yourself is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of survival in a world that constantly demands you conform, sacrifice, and seek approval. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic emperors, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." What you choose to prioritize, defend, and nurture within yourself shapes everything. Yet for many, choosing themselves feels impossible. We get caught in the endless web of pleasing family, friends, bosses, or society's expectations. We dilute our purpose to avoid conflict or rejection. But what if the key to lasting respect and true influence lies not in others' approval, but in the ruthless, deliberate act of choosing yourself first? Epictetus reminded us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Choosing yourself is the conscious reaction, the choice to take responsibility for your life and refuse to be controlled by others, judgments, or demands. And then there's Machiavelli, whose name is synonymous with political cunning and power. His observations about leadership apply just as much to your personal life. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Choosing yourself is the wisdom of acting decisively, protecting your own interests above fleeting alliances and distractions. In this video, you'll learn how to cultivate the mindset and habits that empower you to choose yourself without guilt, hesitation, or compromise. You'll discover the Stoic calm and Machiavellian strategy needed to claim your worth and live on your own terms. So if you're ready to step into your power, protect your energy, and build an unbreakable foundation of self-respect, stay with me. These 10 principles will change how you see yourself and your place in the world forever. Chapter 1: Know your own value, the foundation of self-choice. Choosing yourself begins with understanding your intrinsic worth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The Stoics teach that your value is not measured by external validation, but by your character and actions. Recognizing this is the first step to putting yourself first. Too often, we sacrifice ourselves to please others or fit societal expectations. Epictetus warned, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Choosing yourself means reacting to life with self-respect rather than people-pleasing. Machiavelli's cold pragmatism complements this. Leaders who understand their worth never allow themselves to be pawns in others' games. They control their destiny by first commanding respect for their own value. Consider the story of Queen Elizabeth I, who navigated a male-dominated court by asserting her worth and refusing to be used or underestimated. Her strength was rooted in unshakable self-value. Psychological research shows that self-esteem correlates directly with resilience and success. When you know your worth, you protect your energy and focus on what serves your growth. Tonight, reflect on your own value. Write down your strengths, achievements, and qualities. Let this foundation remind you why you deserve to choose yourself. Choosing yourself starts with honoring your worth. Everything else flows from this. Chapter 2. Set clear boundaries. Protect your mental kingdom. Choosing yourself requires firm boundaries. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Guard what enters your mind and life. Boundaries protect your mental space and ensure you don't surrender your power to others, demands, or negativity. Epictetus taught that external events are beyond our control, but our reactions aren't. Boundaries are the physical and mental limits we set to maintain control over our reactions and preserve tranquility. Machiavelli observed that a leader who cannot enforce boundaries will be overrun by enemies and insiders alike. Boundaries create respect and maintain order in your life and relationships. The story of Frederick the Great illustrates this well. His strict boundaries in court and military kept him focused and respected, enabling him to build a formidable kingdom and legacy. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is strategic self-preservation. It protects your peace, focus, and resources from unnecessary depletion. Tonight, identify areas in your life where your boundaries have been weak or ignored. Begin strengthening them deliberately. Choosing yourself means standing guard at the gates of your mind and life. Chapter 3. Embrace responsibility. Own your power. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom comes from accepting responsibility for our lives. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Choosing yourself means owning your actions, decisions, and their consequences. Epictetus emphasized that blame and victimhood surrender power. Instead, we must accept what we can control, our choices. Responsibility is the backbone of self-mastery. Machiavelli advised rulers to take full responsibility for their realms. A leader who avoids responsibility loses control and invites chaos. Look to Abraham Lincoln, who, amid a nation divided, took responsibility for holding the Union together. His leadership and self-accountability are legendary examples of owning one's power. Modern psychology links responsibility to self-efficacy, the belief you can influence outcomes. This belief fuels confidence and success. Tonight, reflect on areas where you may have abdicated responsibility. Commit to reclaiming it. Choosing yourself means becoming the unshakable captain of your fate. Chapter 4. Master your emotions. The silent commander within. Stoics teach that emotions, when uncontrolled, enslave us. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Choosing yourself involves mastering emotions so they serve your reason, not the other way around. Epictetus taught that external events don't disturb us, our judgments about them do. Learning to control emotional responses is key to maintaining inner peace. Machiavelli, always pragmatic, understood the importance of emotional control in leadership. A ruler who succumbs to passion loses authority and invites disaster. The story of Julius Caesar's calm in crisis reveals the power of emotional mastery. His ability to stay composed gave him an edge in both politics and battle. Psychology confirms emotional regulation, enhances decision-making and resilience. Tonight, practice observing your emotions without immediate reaction. Develop space between stimulus and response. Choosing yourself means becoming the silent commander of your inner world. Chapter 5. Cultivate self-reliance, the pillar of independence. Stoicism teaches that reliance on externals leads to vulnerability. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Be content with what you are, and wish not change, nor dread your last day." Choosing yourself means developing self-reliance so your happiness and success don't depend on others. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This echoes the call for independence from external circumstances. Machiavelli praised rulers who relied on their own arms and resources, not mercenaries or allies who might betray them. The story of George Washington's self-reliance in building a new nation underlines this principle. His confidence came from trusting his judgment and abilities. Modern studies link self-reliance with greater psychological well-being. Tonight, identify one area you overly depend on others and create a plan to strengthen your independence. Choosing yourself means standing tall on the foundation of your own strength. Chapter 6. Prioritize your growth, the investment that pays off. Choosing yourself demands continuous growth. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Every day think as you wake up. Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty." Growth comes from meeting challenges with resilience and learning. Epictetus taught that life is a school for virtue and wisdom. Growth is not optional but essential. Machiavelli believed that rulers must constantly adapt and improve to maintain power. The story of Leonardo da Vinci, relentlessly curious and improving, shows the lifelong commitment to growth. Psychology confirms that growth mindset leads to higher achievement and fulfillment. Tonight, commit to one new habit or skill that furthers your growth. Choosing yourself means investing in your future relentlessly. Chapter 7. Speak your truth. Command respect through honesty. Stoicism values truth as a path to freedom. Marcus Aurelius urged, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Choosing yourself means living authentically and speaking your truth without fear. Epictetus believed that deception corrupts the soul. Honesty builds integrity, a cornerstone of self-respect. Machiavelli noted that a leader's word, when truthful, strengthens authority and trust. Consider the story of Socrates, who chose death over abandoning truth, a powerful example of unwavering integrity. Psychological research shows that authentic communication improves relationships and mental health. Tonight, practice expressing a truth you have withheld. Choosing yourself requires bold honesty. Chapter 8. Accept impermanence, the Stoic embrace of change. The Stoics teach that impermanence is the nature of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny." Choosing yourself means embracing change without losing your center. Epictetus reminded that resisting what cannot be controlled only breeds suffering. Machiavelli's political advice often revolved around adapting to shifting circumstances. The story of Winston Churchill, who faced multiple defeats yet adapted and persisted, illustrates acceptance of change. Modern neuroscience finds that acceptance increases psychological flexibility and well-being. Tonight, reflect on changes you resist and practice acceptance. Choosing yourself means mastering the art of flowing with life's tides. Chapter 9. Control your attention. Guard the gateway to your mind. Stoicism emphasizes the power of attention. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Choosing yourself requires controlling what you focus on and guarding your mind. Epictetus advised focusing only on what is within your power. Machiavelli's success was built on focused attention to strategy and opportunity. The story of Alexander the Great shows a leader whose singular focus on conquest drove extraordinary achievement. Psychology reveals attention control improves emotional regulation and goal attainment. Tonight, identify distractions and limit them intentionally. Choosing yourself means owning the gateway to your mind. Chapter 10. Build unshakable confidence. Become untouchable. Confidence is the crown jewel of choosing yourself. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears." True confidence arises from inner mastery, not external praise. Epictetus believed that when you control your judgments, no insult or praise can shake you. Machiavelli's advice to rulers emphasized projecting confidence to maintain power. The story of Joan of Arc, who inspired armies through unwavering confidence, exemplifies this principle. Research shows self-confidence correlates with success and leadership. Tonight, affirm your strengths and accomplishments. Choosing yourself means standing untouchable and unshakable. As we near the end of this deep dive into choosing yourself, it's essential to remember that these principles aren't mere ideas. They are powerful tools forged in the fires of history and philosophy, tested by emperors, strategists, and thinkers who understood that true power starts within. Choosing yourself is not an act of vanity, it's a strategic necessity. Both Stoicism and Machiavellian thought remind us that only when you stand firm in your own value can you navigate the chaos of life with clarity and strength. The world will try to pull you in every direction, but your commitment to yourself is your anchor. Consider how Marcus Aurelius found peace amid war and betrayal by returning to the certainty of his own character and reason, or how Machiavelli advised rulers to be both loved and feared, but above all, never weak in their own resolve. This duality of inner strength and tactical awareness is your blueprint. You've learned how boundaries protect your energy, how responsibility gives you control, and how emotional mastery is the silent weapon of the strong. These lessons are your armor against distraction, manipulation, and self-doubt. Yet the journey doesn't end here. Choosing yourself is an ongoing practice, a daily commitment to returning to your highest self despite setbacks or external pressures. It's about waking up each morning with the question, am I living for myself or for others' approval? And having the courage to answer honestly and act accordingly. The path of self-choice is not always comfortable. It demands courage, discipline, and sometimes solitude. But the reward is immense, an unshakable foundation of inner peace, power, and purpose. So before we close, take a moment to internalize these truths. Let them settle into your bones and fuel your next steps. Thank you for staying with me on this journey into the art of choosing yourself, a path few dare to walk, but that leads to true freedom and mastery. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Choosing yourself is turning every obstacle into a stepping stone. The power to live authentically, to say no without guilt, to prioritize your growth and peace, that power is yours for the taking. Epictetus teaches us that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Choosing yourself means controlling what you can, your mind, your actions, your energy. Machiavelli's wisdom adds that strategy is key. It's not enough to want power. You must be willing to act with decisiveness, shrewdness, and a calm mind. To master yourself is the greatest conquest of all. Look back at the stories of those who embraced these principles, from emperors to revolutionaries, philosophers to warriors, and know that you walk the same path. Their victories began with the simple, sometimes uncomfortable act of choosing themselves. Your environment will tempt you to conform and sacrifice your well-being for acceptance. Resist this. Remember that your most valuable resource is your own mind and spirit. Build your fortress of solitude and strength around this truth. Let your life be a testament to the power of self-respect and inner mastery. I challenge you to step into this power starting today. Choose yourself, not as an act of defiance, but as the highest form of wisdom and survival. Your journey has just begun. Walk it with courage. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered the profound power that comes from the deliberate choice to put yourself first. This isn't about selfishness or arrogance. It's about strategic self-preservation and mastery, deeply rooted in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and the ruthless pragmatism of Machiavelli. From understanding your intrinsic value to setting unbreakable boundaries, each principle teaches you how to protect your mental kingdom against the chaos and manipulation of the outside world. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that our thoughts shape our reality. Choosing yourself means controlling that inner narrative with unwavering discipline. We explored the necessity of embracing full responsibility for your actions and emotions, the cornerstone of true freedom and power. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery over your inner world is what enables you to stand firm amid life's storms. Machiavelli's lessons about leadership reveal that power is not given. It is taken and maintained through calculated decisions, emotional control, and decisive action. Choosing yourself means applying these lessons daily in your personal life, building resilience and confidence. We also saw how embracing impermanence and controlling your attention are critical for maintaining clarity and peace. The ability to focus on what truly matters frees you from distraction and empowers your growth. Ultimately, choosing yourself means building an unshakable foundation of confidence and integrity that makes you untouchable, not because you are invincible, but because you are anchored in your own strength. This path is challenging, requiring discipline, courage, and sometimes solitude. But the reward is a life lived authentically and powerfully, free from the need for external approval or validation. By embodying these 10 unbreakable principles, you don't just survive the world's chaos, you thrive within it, becoming the architect of your own destiny. Now is the moment to act. Choosing yourself is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice that shapes the course of your life. Start by committing to one of these principles today, whether it's setting stronger boundaries, mastering your emotions, or embracing responsibility. I challenge you to reflect deeply. Where in your life have you been giving away your power? What steps can you take now to reclaim it? Write down your plan, hold yourself accountable, and revisit it regularly. If this message has resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Join the conversation in the comments. Share your experiences, your challenges, and your victories in choosing yourself. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future content that empowers you to master your mind, your life, and your destiny. Remember, the greatest power you will ever have is the power to choose yourself every single time. Own that power, live it boldly, and watch as everything in your life begins to align with your true worth. Forward in na life yout, ja blessings.